And we once again begin with history, courtesy of Sarah Fuller and Vanderbilt, trying to become the first woman to score for a Power 5 team. Under 2 left in the first quarter, Kent Seals to Cam Johnson, 18-yard touchdown. Vanderbilt scores. Here comes the extra points.
Here's the kick. It is on the way. It is good. Sarah Fuller has become the first woman to score a point in a Power 5 college football game. And everybody comes out to congratulate number 32. History has been made.
Fuller would make 2 extra points. However, Vandy would lose 42-17. Here was Fuller following the moment.
I was just super excited when we got that touchdown. I was ready to go out and roll. And, the guys were super pumped up and encouraging. So I was very excited to get out there and finally do what I've been training for the past few weeks. After all the chaos, one of the refs handed me the ball, and I would like to keep it if that's possible. That's pretty cool. So to sum it up, I say it's been a little chaotic, but I'm very thankful for every opportunity. And again, the whole Vanderbilt football staff has been incredible, and it's been an awesome journey.
She better get to keep the game ball. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway, Matt Barrie alongside. What a great way to start the show. Final regular season Saturday of the season before we go to championship Saturday. And gentlemen, when you look at a slate like this, there's always a game when you least expect it that's going to come out of nowhere and potentially be the game of the year. We had that LSU-Florida senior night at the Swamp, which led to this pregame prediction from Joey Galloway. Give me a prediction for tonight. What do you want to see out of the Gators? More of what you want to see, not a score.
Of what? This will be a blowout.
Okay, second quarter, tied at 7. Trask over the middle, picked off by Eli Ricks.
Amazing stat on Trask. As good as he's been, he's now thrown 3 pick sixes on the season.
This one, 68 yards. Ricks slows down, taunts a little bit, doesn't get. If I were Trask,
I'd enjoy it.
I'd have sent him. LSU up 14-7 later in the quarter. Same score. Trask, run right, throw it, deflected, intercepted by Jay Ward.
You got to give this LSU secondary a lot of credit because they battled. They were down 3 corners, including Derek Stingley Jr. This is a crazy play. Take another look. The ball ricochets off Dwight McGlothern's helmet, who's inbounds at the time, and then on the ground, it's Ward. Jay Ward, who reestablishes position, gets the knees in. That is an interception.
To have the awareness on 2 knees, come up with the ball, second interception of the game for Trask. Max Johnson, the true freshman, looked good. Keyshawn Butte wide open, walks in for the score.
And this is a breakdown in coverage by Florida. They've made mistakes in this game. They sent a corner blitz, a double corner blitz. I haven't seen many of these in football, but they tried it. LSU was ready. Big touchdown.
Perhaps not try it again. A lot of freshmen, a lot of youth on the field for the Tigers, trying to take advantage of the playing time. Florida trying to score to end the half. Trask hits, fumbles the ball. LSU recovers.
Yeah, the Gators tried to throw it 48 times, and they were under immense pressure from the LSU Tigers in this first half. This would give LSU an opportunity for a field goal before going into the third quarter.
So 24-17, third quarter, Trask to Kadarius Toney does the rest and scores.
No Kyle Pitts, but Kadarius Toney had a huge game, 9 catches for 182.
But then here comes Johnson. He would always answer. Finds Trey Bradford, 4-yard touchdown.
Super Bowl
LSU
champion Brad Johnson's son was very poised in situational moments in this game.
All right, 2 minutes left, tied at 34. Third down, LSU. Johnson to Colt Taylor, who's tackled well short of the first down. But watch what Marco Wilson does.
Absolutely the craziest play we've seen this season. It's third down. You're about to get the ball back with Kyle Trask, time on the clock, to go down and try to win and keep your hopes alive.
And so Cade York from 57 yards in the fog makes it. LSU now leads, 23 seconds left. For now, you can call them LS-Shoe. Trask completes to Toney to get him closer for a field goal.
They had 2 timeouts. They had a couple quick completions down the field to give their kicker, Evan McPherson, arguably the best in college football, a chance.
So can he make it happen in the fog? No good. Ball game. Florida's playoff hopes gone. LSU pulls off the upset. Florida goes down at home, 37-34 in a thriller.
But, it is what it is. We got to play next week. What we can control is plan for an SEC championship, and we're doing that next week. So, tonight's game is what it is. And we got to get prepared for next week's championship game.
LSU closed as a 23.5-point underdog at Caesars William Hill, making this upset tied for the third largest in an SEC conference game since 1978. Tigers also had a 24-point upset over Alabama back in 1993. But first things first, what this does to Florida completely throws their playoff hopes out of the window for not showing up in a game the week before the SEC
And I think if you're Dan Mullen and you're Todd Grantham, the defensive coordinator, you have to be disappointed in your pass defense, giving up 3 touchdowns against an LSU offense whose top 3 targets have already opted out of the season, starting a true freshman at quarterback. The pass defense has been inconsistent all season long. Guys have lost one-on-one in man coverage. Here, safety Donovan Steiner gets beat on a shallow cross. Joey showed you this play early. There have been way too many busts when they've blitzed and when they've played zone coverage. They tried some corner blitzes. Here's another one here for Marco Wilson. The safety doesn't get over and cover the slant and go by Butte. Kyer Elam and Marco Wilson at corner are talented players, but they've been up and down this year. They've gotten beaten one-on-one. They've got to do better.
And this is the first time we've seen the Florida offense look like they wasn't sure what they wanted to do. Kyle Trask in the pocket. He was pressured 13 times. He was sacked 4 times, had the 2 interceptions, and the fumble you just saw, which automatically put LSU in the red zone. This is the second interception of the game. Florida, with a chance to score, turns it over in this situation. So when you look at what Florida did in this game, the mistakes they made, the 2 interceptions, one's a pick 6, the fumble in the red zone for LSU to score points, the shoe by Marco Wilson when they're about to get the ball back. They had almost 200 more yards than LSU in this game. But LSU didn't turn the ball over, and that's why coaches always talk about turnovers and mistakes. When you make them, it doesn't matter who you play. If you make enough mistakes at the right times, you will lose football games.
You called it crazy in the highlight. I was just stupid.
Yeah.
That is probably the most costly penalty because of what was at stake for the Florida Gators. The most costly penalty you'll see this
in
year.
a moment that didn't really – what was the point of that?
There wasn't.
Yeah, run off the field. You got the ball back with the best quarterback in college football, about to get the ball back to go down and try to win, and you do that.
I can tell you what, no one on this set laughing about it now. UNC Miami, 24th meeting, first time they've ever met as ranked opponents. UNC had lost 12 straight against top 10 teams, 14-3. First play of the drive here in the first quarter with 30 seconds left. Virtual lock implications for Galloway in the over. Michael Carter, 65-yard score.
Michael Carter ran for 308. And it's amazing. The number was 69.5, and I needed points. And usually that team has to throw it to get those kind of points. Not North Carolina.
Here was the story here. Mac Brown facing his former Texas defensive coordinator, Manny Diaz, so apparently he knows he can't stop the run.
Here's the thing. Miami's a good front 7. They've got a dominant D-line. Guys getting pushed. And one theme you're going to see here, DBs, safeties, bad angles, and so many missed tackles.
And upside-down U's. UNC up 31-3. Then Javonte Williams. Watch him truck that Miami player.
Carter and Williams combined for 544 yards rushing, 5 TDs. 544 is the most by a duo in a single game in major college football history.
Boom!
Right, running guys over, making guys miss. There's a towel. I mean, Miami on defense, terrible.
You guys know because you played this game at a high level. This is a steal your manhood type.
But I love this trick play here. Sam Howell takes the snap, flips it to Williams, who flips it to Rontavious Groves, a lefty rolling to his right, throwing it back to Howell.
544 yards combined between the running backs, 5 touchdowns, 36-point win, the biggest over a top 10 team in North Carolina history. What a win.
We just felt like we could beat anybody. So we just have the confidence of the number 1 team in the country. We feel like we're the best, and but we do it with a silence behind us. So we just want to come out here and have fun today, and we did that.
It was really just the O-line, the receivers blocking downfield, Sam making the right decisions, coaches calling the right plays, a good week of practice. Just I feel like this whole week, everything's just been feeling good, and that's a great feeling to have.
308, 236. Carter and Williams, 544 combined, the most by any duo in a single game in major college football history. They also became the first pair of North Carolina teammates to surpass 1,000 yards in the same season since Leon Johnson and Curtis Johnson. I believe old Mac Brown was ball coaching them back then as well. What a great story on Saturday. Here's a good story. Ball State trying to make it to the MAC championship for the first time since 2008. This game was absolutely crazy. Drew Plitt here finds Johannes Tyler corner for the touchdown.
And Plitt flew for 249, but they're down 2 scores in the fourth. Can they complete the comeback?
Yeah, so Ball State has to come back. Extra point attempt. Jack Knight sails right. Second missed extra point of the game. Plitt's like, dude, we're trying to come back. Can't miss extra points. Later in the fourth, Plitt, Justin Hall, big game, 55-yard touchdown.
If you're going to come back in a game like this, you need great individual effort. Take a look at the open field running here by Justin Hall. He had 10 catches, 175 yards, and 2 TDs. And after a successful 2-point conversion, they tie the game at 27.
Here comes Ball State. 37 seconds remaining as Knight warming up. Will Jones drops to the line, no gain. So Ball State, here it comes. Couldn't make an extra point. Can he make the field goal through the uprights? How about it? Ball State up 30-27. Knight's like, lift me up, celebrate.
Ball State scores 17 points in the fourth, but let the fun begin. Here we go.
This was insane.
He's never worked, by the way.
6 seconds left. Caleb Ellaby, short pass, Sky Moore. Desperation. Ball State would try to lateral.
Let's go.
I want you to notice how well everybody throws the ball. You got a lot of dudes that have played former quarterback before in high school, except 61.
Here we go.
13 laterals.
Here we go. We're alive here.
Ball still alive.
Losing a lot of ground, but
We're
look
moving
at that
backwards.
toss.
Now we move forward.
Guys, we're still alive.
That one ended the game.
Game's still going. Here we go.
But we're still playing.
Flags down.
Here we go.
Get rid of it.
Yep, we're celebrating.
Nice job.
It's getting amazing.
Get rid of it.
They don't
Option
know there's a
pitch.
flag on the play because the ball's still alive.
That was
Come on,
premature.
Five.
Right.
Come on,
So
Five.
here's what you need to pay attention here because the ball comes out now, right here. Ladarius Jefferson, the ball rolls loose. Ball
It's
State
still
thinks they
live.
land on it.
Whoa,
They never do.
What are we doing here?
Here comes Ball State.
Who's
Luke
legal and who's not?
Sanders continues to fight towards the end zone. Watch this.
Check out the coach here coming up here at the top of the
This is
screen.
good coaching.
You guys can go. Keep playing.
This
Look
is
at the
good
assistant
coaching.
right here.
Here we
Let's
go.
go. Let's
Let's
go.
go.
Keep going.
What are we doing?
Touchdown.
So the officials rule it a touchdown. Then they go back and they go, wait a second. You guys had an illegal forward pass. Ball State was running on the field. Our pets' heads were falling off. It was a
Crazy.
no play, and Ball State hangs on to win 30-27 in the craziest finish of the year, and they celebrate. They are headed to the MAC championship. Who will they get? Oh, you get Jarrett Patterson in Buffalo. More from this superstar coming up in just a bit. Plus, a little bit of rivalry Saturday. Battle of LA. Could Chip Kelly take down USC, or did they have more late magic in them? We're off and running. This is College Football Final.
Game over. Notre Dame knocks off number 1. Now you're going to play the real Clemson. It's flat out must win. Come and go.
Matt, Jesse, Joey back with you. College Football Final, Battle of LA, USC, UCLA, Jesse Palmer, virtual lock implications. Trojans -3, down 14-0. Keaton Slovis to Drake London.
Slovis was under a lot of pressure early in this game. Nice job buying time. Finds his 6'5", 210-pound sophomore receiver who also plays on the USC basketball team. Great job, great strength finding his way in the end zone.
Great strength is right. USC still trailing 28-10. Slovis, time, 38-yarder. Tyler Vaughns for the touchdown.
You can't throw it any better than this. Tyler Vaughns is 6'2". Over the outside shoulder, lays out, brings it in.
So it was a comeback effort out of the Trojans. Amon-Ra St. Brown for the touchdown.
Great route down on the goal line by Amon-Ra St. Brown. Big body slant.
USC within 5, couldn't get the 2-point conversion. St. Brown goes through his hands. Stefan Blaylock, UCLA, crucial takeaway. First play after the interception. Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Greg Dulcich, 69 yards.
And DTR threw for 364 in this game. He's keeping the offense moving. UCLA looking pretty good.
So they need it in the fourth. Vavae Malapei, 10-yard touchdown. USC now down 5.
His running backs have had fumble problems early in the season. Great run by Malapei. 110 yards for him in this game.
So they got an interception. Here comes Slovis. London, touchdown. Another 2-point conversion failed. USC grabs the lead. UCLA tries tries the kick. Nicholas Barmira, 43-yarder, field goal good. UCLA back on top. But here comes Slovis, 35-yarder to Vaughns.
And Vaughns had 8 catches, 122, none bigger than that one.
And Jesse needed it. Here it is.
Never a doubt. No defense for a perfect throw. The Trojans cover in the victory belt.
Delivering dangerously.
A bunch of great kids that just are the definition of fight on. And, you know, when we had 50 seconds left, that's us. You know, that's this year. It's just give us one more chance, give us one more opportunity to fight. And those kids did. Really proud of them.
He's not wrong. SC did it against Arizona State. They did it against Arizona. They'll take on Washington in the Pac-12 championship game next Friday. 2 teams have won 3 of the last 4 Pac-12 championship games. This will be the first time the 2 meet over that span. However, Washington's ability to play may be in question as its game against Oregon this week was canceled due to COVID-19 issues. USC plays in the Pac-12 championship game because Colorado had Utah earlier in the day, had to get a win to stay alive. Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, is a fun player to watch.
And look at the space he has. That's why you always talk about hang time from punters, because you want your coverage team to be able to get down there. Rice takes this ball, splits the defense, speed to the end zone.
Comes from good stock. And the punter, Ben Lennon, missed a tackle.
Come on, Ben.
It's okay, Ben. 1st and 10 now. Colorado leading 14-10. Sam Neuer out to Rice. You know what? You can do like Daddy.
Yeah, you need one guy to get a block, and then you got to make 2 guys miss with the speed. Apple doesn't really fall far from the tree with this guy.
Can we talk about the beautiful weather? The snow just looks like Colorado.
10 a.m.
Utah
kick there at
football.
Folsom Field.
Kegs and eggs. Ty Jordan, 18-yard touchdown. Utah answers back. Cut the lead 21-17. Jake Bentley up and down on Saturday, but he was big when they needed him.
Yeah, and how about Utah's season? First 2 games canceled because of COVID. Then they go 0-2. Now they're back. They're trying to win 2 in a row to go 2-2. Way to bounce back, Utah.
They take the lead 24-21, and then Jordan up the gut, 66 yards.
They miss Zach Moss now off in the NFL, but this true freshman, he ran for 147 yards, 2 TDs, strong runner. Defense had 3 takeaways. Turnovers were an issue for Utah early in the season. Nice win.
So Utah, with the win, knocks Colorado out of the Pac-12 championship, which is why USC was in. There is a job opening in the Pac-12 in the state of Arizona. Saturday, Kevin Sumlin was fired as Arizona's coach the day after they got beat 70-7 by Arizona State. Sumlin spent 3 years in Tucson with the Wildcats. Hey, let's go talk some Sun Belt, shall we? Coastal Carolina coming off the big win a week prior to BYU. Grayson McCall keeps the ball. Coastal had to go back and forth in this one.
And the concern is, would there be a letdown? But we're in the 4th quarter. They go up 2 scores. Looks like no letdown against Troy.
All right, ensuing possession, 1st and goal from the 3. Jamontez Woods takes it in. Troy closes the gap.
This is a nice answer. That kept off an 11-play, 75-yard drive.
So all McCall needs to do not turn the ball over. And Carlton Marshall pick.
This is just McCall's 2nd interception on the season, trying to do too much. Takes his chance while getting hit. You can't throw it late.
Troy's defense comes up big. Jacob Free to Trey Eford at the goal line. Touchdown, Troy. Successful 2-point conversion. Troy up 38-35. Here comes McCall. Pass to Javon Hylights, 27 yards.
Tremendous poise, 2-minute drive. Trying to keep your New Year's 6 bowl hopes alive. The quarterback would be big.
Then McCall to Isaiah Likely, 16 yards.
McCall threw for 338 in this game, which is a career high. Can he finish it off? Can they come back? Can they win it?
40 seconds left in the game. McCall to Highlight, 23 yards for the score.
2 TD catches for Highlight. And how about Coastal Carolina winning their 12th straight?
That drive took 47 seconds, and they are still undefeated.
We found a way to get it done, and that's what championship teams do. You know, and it wasn't pretty, and it looked like it was dire straits. But, you know, that last drive there to go 75 yards in about 20 seconds or whatever it was, you know, our quarterback looked like a freshman on the second to last drive, and he didn't look like a freshman on that last drive. So just an unbelievable way to end the football game.
Guys, we talked about a vacancy in the Pac-12. A vacancy has been filled in the Sun Belt, and it's a familiar name. Butch Jones has been named The next head coach at Arkansas State, Blake Anderson, left for Utah State. Right now, Jones currently a special assistant to Alabama head coach Nick Saban, but Butch Jones back in the game as a head coach.
Hold the rope, trust your training.
Let's go. You know what? Tell you what. Champions of life already. Illinois and Northwestern. Second quarter, Wildcats down. Peyton Ramsey to Charlie Mangieri.
Northwestern ran the ball so well in this game. The play-action pass brings up the linebackers. Wide open Mangieri in the back of the end zone. When you run it like Northwestern does, these plays to your tight end are always open.
And, Joe, you mentioned the running game, and Northwestern did that at a high clip.
Yeah, Drake Anderson fumbled on the first play of the game. Isaiah Bowser didn't get a lot of run either. There were two freshmen that got a ton of carries. Cam Porter here out of the Wildcat formation. He ran for over 100 yards.
Had 142 and 2 on the ground. He mentioned the other guy, Evan Hull, inside handoff, 32 yards up the middle.
Northwestern ran the ball for 411 yards in this game. They're going to need every one of those yards next week when they go against Ohio State for the Big Ten Championship.
How about that Land of Lincoln trophy for the win? 28-10, the final. Up next for Fitzgerald, Ohio State.
They're a top 4 team. If I had a vote, I'd vote them number 2. I think they're a complete football team, all 3 phases. It starts in the backfield. All the receivers are highlight reel guys. I mean, every time they touch the ball, it's a highlight reel. What jumps out to me is their defensive front, and then their back end. They got multiple first rounders that are unbelievably talented. I'm sure we're going to be underdogs by like 70. So I don't know. We'll try to put together a good week and get ourselves prepared.
All right, they've got that defense, the Wildcats, allowing just over 5 yards per attempt. Not only leads the Big Ten, but that's also the entire FBS. These guys can play defense. That's going to be needed as the Buckeyes offense leads the Big Ten in a number of categories. And again, gentlemen, it is worth pointing out on Saturday, Ohio State had their game against Michigan get canceled, so Northwestern was able to get on the field, play a little bit of football. So, Joey, I'm going to start with you in the Big Ten championship game. Where does Ohio State have a little bit of advantage, and what can they exploit with Northwestern?
Obviously, with Justin Fields, you have one of the best offenses in the entire country. But it's out wide. I don't think their receivers get enough credit. And Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, and what they give this offense. Each receiver is averaging over 100 yards a game. That's only done by 2 other teams in the entire country, Alabama being one of those guys. They need these big plays because we're going against a Northwestern defense that has held their opponents to 20 points or fewer in 6 of their 7 games. First time they've ever done that. So it's going to be a matchup of can they stop these big play receivers outside.
And I think for Northwestern, big key for them, they got to be able to run the football. Now, they're an offense only averaging 25 points a game, so they can't expect to win a shootout in this one. They've been inconsistent running it this year. And what a challenge they'll have against a very physical and talented front 7 for Ohio State. But they've got some guys that can do some damage. We talked about Isaiah Bowser. He's 220 pounds. He's the more physical back, does a good job with his vision, can get north-south. Drake Anderson is a bit more of the slasher, speed, home run hitter. He can also hurt you when they get to the perimeter of the field. They've got a quarterback in Peyton Ramsey, who's a dual threat, hurt you with zone reads and scrambles. McGowan at receiver is a guy that they can get involved in different ways as well. But I think the key for Northwestern, you want to limit Justin Fields' possessions. If you run the football, you possess the ball, eat up some clock, keep number 1 on the sidelines as long as you can. And I think after running for 400 yards against Illinois in this game heading into the Big Ten title game, I think Northwestern will have a little bit more confidence.
Such a collision of styles. You've got Ohio State. They are so explosive, big plays. Northwestern, 3 yards, 5 yards, chunk.
Don't you dare say
Play
Reese
good
Davis.
defense.
Don't you say it.
Look,
okay, just make sure.
I've never heard that.
I'm not the one in this
set
set that offends people. Would be a monumental upset if
Northwestern.
Again, the Buckeyes coming up. I'll tell you what, if you haven't hopped on the Alabama cover train, that's on you. More coming. College football final.
4 teams, 2 semifinals. New Year's Day, the college football playoff lives on ESPN.
As for that college football playoff, Executive Director Bill Hancock released a statement on Saturday saying we're looking forward to the semifinals January 1 and the championship game January 11 and planning for them. We are being meticulous and we feel confident we'll be ready. One team we expect that no matter what is going to be in Alabama taking on Arkansas. Eli Gold, the voice of Alabama football, not on the call Saturday, stamping 409 straight.
On to punt for the Hogs, and it was almost blocked, but he gets it away as Devontae Smith We'll look at this one. He'll make the grab at the 17. He'll cut it back across midfield. Across the midfield stripe, it's a foot race, and I'll always put my money on him. Devontae Smith to the house. Touchdown, Alabama, and the Tide leads it 9-3.
Chris Stewart filling in for the great Eli Gold, who was out after testing positive for COVID-19. Second quarter, again, virtual lock implications for Jesse. Always takes Bama, always lays the points. That's an Najee Harris touchdown. And then here, Felipe Franks sacked by Christopher Allen, lost of 20.
And one of the reasons I keep taking Bama is because their defense is playing so much better second half of the season. They had 7 sacks in this game and 4 takeaways.
Alabama takes over, great field position. Then it's Harris again, 5-yard touchdown, scored touchdowns like consecutive carries.
Yeah, Najee Harris now 42 touchdowns, which ties him with Derrick Henry and Mark Ingram for all-time lead at Alabama.
And then at this point, they just start running it, scoring. Brian Robinson Jr., 4-yard touchdown, 3 TDs on the day for Robinson Jr. Then Jace McClellan, 80 yards.
You know what's amazing? Alabama scored 52 points in this win. Mac Jones didn't throw a touchdown pass.
They didn't need it. Alabama dominant, 52-3, 14 straight wins over Woo Pig. We expect them to be in the college football playoff no matter what. Tied to the first team in SEC history to score 50 points in 5 conference games. Only 3 teams have done it 4 times, and all of them made the national title game, with 2 being crowned champions. The one that didn't win it all, Alabama, 2018. And now let's take a look at who you guys think could be in with the college football playoff with the Capital One fan vote, or Jess, should I say, who's safe?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, Barry. So there was only one team from both Joey's and my top 5 that actually played football games this past weekend. However, with the Gators going down against LSU, it's now changed the projection for who could get in the college football playoff. Now, before we get to that, I just want to say, I think Joey and I both agree Alabama is now getting in. After beating Arkansas, they've been number 1 in every college football playoff ranking so far. Even if they lose to the Gators, it's hard to imagine the committee moving them all the way from 1 outside the top 4. But how does the Gator loss, Joey, affect who could get in?
Well, I think the second team that I believe is safe, I agree Alabama, but Notre Dame is also safe in my mind because of their resume. And that 3-week span, knocking off then number 1 Clemson, then going on the road and knocking off North Carolina, who is now ranked number 17, I think it makes their resume strong enough that if they do lose to Clemson in the ACC championship game, they will not fall any lower than number 4. They passed the eye test, they have the resume test, and the way they look the entire season, I think they're safe.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, even if they lose to Clemson, that the committee would take a 2-loss SEC champion Gator team and put them in. That Gator loss, by the way, also hurts Texas A&M's resume because their win against the Gators was their best win. I also think it really helps Ohio State. I think Ohio State's nightmare scenario in this whole thing was the SEC and the ACC both putting 2 teams in. That's now not going to happen in the SEC. So I think if you're Ohio State, if you go out and you dominate against the Northwestern team that the committee, as of today, has ranked number 14, I think if you're Ohio State with that Gator loss, you're feeling pretty good about your chances of getting in.
And I agree. And I also look at Cincinnati. Don't forget Cincinnati. Now, they've been canceled for 3 weeks. We haven't seen them in a long time. And the committee moving behind Iowa State. I disagree with that move. When you watch Cincinnati play the game, defensively, they're as good as anyone in the country. But Florida losing eliminates them, opens up the door for Texas A&M and a Cincinnati.
There's still a lot on the line in championship weekend. Maybe a little bit less drama, Barry, but always lots of drama here on the set with us.
Yeah, a lot of drama on a Saturday when we're hanging out for 15 hours. Taking a look at next weekend, championship weekend has arrived. Playoff implications, especially if, say, Notre Dame were to sweep Clemson on the season. Don't forget to give your Capital One fan votes via SportsCenter's Twitter handle on Monday. Gentlemen, need you to hustle back to the set because we have one final virtual lock for over-under Galloway. Georgia, Missouri, the number here, 54.5. JT Daniels out of the gun, pressure in his face. George Pickens, what a grab.
And this plays after Missouri blocks a punt. They get a touchdown. What about the answer by Georgia to take the momentum back before halftime?
21-14, third quarter now. JT out of the gun. Nice pitch and catch again. Pickens does the rest.
JT Daniels, now the starting quarterback, has made this offense so much more balanced. And you got to say Pickens, 6'3", 200 is a true sophomore. He is a man-child.
All right, look at Zamir White. Gets the handoff right up the offensive line. When you have it set up like this, you can do nothing but score.
Yeah, Zamir White, 12 carries, 126. What makes this offense special now with JT Daniels throwing 9 touchdowns in the last 3 games? They're balanced, and you can't just play the run.
Love the patience out of the running back, and then James Cook gets it in. Georgia wins 49-14. Second game with over 600 yards total offense this season. Makes you wonder what would have been had JT Daniels been. More importantly, gentlemen,
oh yeah,
you've been 500. You've been toiling in mediocrity for weeks. Congratulations, 4-0 on the week. Quick statement out of each of you on this feat.
It's been a long time to have this feeling of going 4-0 on a weekend. We're coming back next week, and we're going to add to this another 4-0.
And drinks on you, Barry.
Let's go.
I'll happily take the drinks and raise Galloway an LSU prediction. Oklahoma State and Baylor. Second play of the game for the Cowboys. 2nd and 10. Spencer Sanders scrambles right, throws to Dylan Stoner, who, by the way, had a game.
He did. No Tylan Wallace in this game for Oklahoma State because of injury. So it was Dylan Stoner that stepped up. He made play after play for Spencer Sanders in the passing attack.
Another example of that. Watch how high Stoner gets.
And watch the confidence that Spencer Sanders has in Stoner to go get this ball. 8 catches, 247, 3 touchdowns. They couldn't stop him.
And Stoner again beats the defender. 3rd TD of the half.
Yeah, with no Tylan Wallace in the game, Baylor just put an extra safety in the box, so it was one-on-one outside all day. Dylan Stoner, he feasted for over 200 yards.
42-3 the final. First time Baylor held under 7 points since November of 2009. One of the great traditions in all of college football, Army, Navy. We went to West Point, and it was every bit of the atmosphere. Plus, Toledo. Rockets win. Stephanie, thank you for the tweet and the emojis. We welcome them on College Football Final.
The journey is on. The AT&T Countdown to the College Football Playoff National Championship, Monday, January 11th on ESPN.
Welcome back. College Football Final, one of the great traditions in the sport. 121st Army-Navy matchup. First time being held at West Point since 1943. World War II. President Trump on hand. Ceremonial coin flip. Early third quarter. Navy trails 3-0. Xavier Arline, 52 yards to the 2.
Arline's only a freshman. He got the start at quarterback. 5'9", 165 pounds, but he ran hard. 109 yards in this game for him on the ground. And take a look at this. Great effort. Reaches it out. Just short of the goal line.
Lucky it wasn't a touchback after getting stopped on first 3 downs. Nelson Smith stopped for no gain. Army, huge stop. Navy turns it over on downs. In the 4th, Navy still trails 3-0. 1st and 10 at their own 15. Arline to C.J. Williams, and it's fumbled.
Navy was 1 of 11 on 3rd downs, 0 for 2 on 4th downs. They had 117 total yards and this fumble.
Guys, touchdowns hard to come by. It was foggy, it was wet, and Tyler 4 yards.
That's the only
Sometimes
touchdown.
you just got to run over your own guy to get in the end zone.
Hey, I'll take it. Then we had a safety here.
What?
Yeah.
He acts like he didn't realize that it was a live ball.
I'm going to give him the fog. Army shuts out Navy. First time since 1969. They've now won 4 of the last 5 after losing 14 straight.
It's just a great game. I'm just so proud of our players, the way they fought and battled. The other team, Navy, just fought their hearts out and headed down here. We had our backs to the wall, had the big stop, and what a huge turning point in the game. I can't say enough for Nate Woody and the defensive staff, our defensive players, and just for our guys gutting it out. We got a couple scores that we needed, that big kick at the end by Moretsky, just all those things, execution, and we finally got it going a little bit. But they were awfully stout, and give them credit too.
Commander-in-Chief trophy on the line. Black Knights host Air Force next week, and the winner of that game will walk away with this year's trophy. Army seeking its 3rd Commander-in-Chief trophy in the last 4 seasons. Houston and Memphis. This game was fun. Memphis leads 17-6. Brady White to Calvin Austin III for the touchdown. Memphis was blowing them out.
They were, yeah. Their defense had a fumble recovery for a touchdown, had a pick, and they were winning 24-6.
So blowout's on, but here come the Cougars. Clayton Tune, he can do this. 19 yards for the score. Houston now down just 7.
Yeah, and here comes the comeback. Clayton Tune throws it well, but he's also very athletic and can run it.
All right, so 33 seconds left in the game. Tune, 18 yards. Bryson Smith ties it.
And that's on 4th and 8. Memphis' defense. You cannot let a receiver get behind you.
Name that Tune. White, 22-yard pass to Austin III. Memphis moving the chains late. And this is my favorite part of the program. College kicker situation does not happen. Riley Patterson, they do not allow the comeback to be complete. Look at my man's celebration. Memphis wins 30-27. This next highlight, Rutgers, Maryland. It's all about the kicker. Rutgers down 24-21. Valentino Ambrosio on for the send the game into overtime. Ambrosio's 39-yard field goal, good. Time expires. Ties it at 24. Overtime. In overtime.
Get him going, Shiano.
That's it. Brick by brick. 4th and goal. Ambrosio. Field goal attempt. Good. Rutgers leads 27-24. Maryland with the shot. Joseph Petrino, 50-yard field goal attempt.
Oh, gosh.
You know, we had a story being told there about the kickers. Rutgers, they were 0-18 in Big Ten play the last 2 years. They got 3 wins this year in conference. Good for them. Buffalo getting set to play in the MAC championship game Friday, ESPN. Jarrett Patterson, a big reason why, 8 touchdowns a week ago. 1 yard of there, Buffalo up 7-0. Patterson wasn't done. Second quarter, Buffalo up 21-0. This is what we like to see out of JP. Gets the handoff, 40-yard touchdown.
Patterson, a bit of a slow day. He ran for just 105 yards in this game. Coming off a game where he went for 400, 8 touchdowns. He was tired, Barrie.
Jarrett Patterson ties the record for the fewest games to get to 1,000 yards. It was a 40-yard run, not a touchdown. We like to give this guy touchdowns because we're used to it. 11th player to reach that mark. Patterson, here's the touchdown. Buffalo up 28-0, 105 and 2 TDs, as Joey said. And then here, Kevin Marks spells him. He gets the 20.
This isn't the Jarrett Patterson show only. How about Kevin Marks? Here running it in from 23 yards. He actually led his team with 185 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns himself. Buffalo's everywhere running wild.
Boy, are they good. So I'm glad we're giving Patterson a full screen here after I just absolutely butchered that highlight. Patterson now has 18 rushing touchdowns in just 5 games this season, 4 more than any other FBS player through 5 teams' games of the last 15 seasons. He also became the 7th player in MAC history with 50 career touchdowns. And again, he was the fewest games to get to 1,000 rushing yards. Good for Jarrett Patterson.
Favorite part of the program? The Matt, Barrie, and Rudy Participation and Effort Award. We're going to stay right here with Akron.
All right.
Corey Smeagol. He's 5'8", 150. Matt Barrie is 5'8", 149.
Not true.
Sloppy, shirt out.
Yeah.
Erroneous.
Uniform police. Can we nail the field goal? Let's watch. It's blocked. Now let's watch the effort.
This is my week.
Let's go, Smeagol. Let's go, Smeagol.
Come on, Smeagol.
I don't know about that angle, Barrie.
Yeah, you want to go back and take a look at this again. It's after the ball gets blocked. Take a look at your boy Smeagol's angle. He literally runs vertically down the field. Smeagol, who, by the way, in Lord of the Rings was Gollum before Gollum.
Yeah.
Smeagol decides he wants none of these Buffalo blockers.
Come on, Barrie.
By the way, I'm 5'10" and 165 pounds of bad intention. Just so you know.
65.
Still ahead.
Soaking wet.
Top plays are on the way. Plus, I'll step on a scale if you need me to. You know what? That's $1 for challenging my vitals on live television. More coming from College Football Final.
It all comes down to this. 4 teams, 1 championship. Time to find out who's in. The College Football Playoff Selection Show next Sunday, noon Eastern on ESPN.
Reese Davis, we've almost made it. Look forward to that. Michigan State, Penn State on Saturday. The Land Grant Trophy on the line. Sean Clifford stands in the pocket. Good shot, Parker Washington.
This team started 0-5. They've won 3 in a row, though. A big reason why Sean Clifford taking care of the ball.
Sean Clifford getting his starting job back, and since that, he's played well. Washington in stride here.
And Jess, you're right. Sean Clifford had 8 interceptions in those 5 losses, 1 interception in their last 3 games, which have been wins.
I tell you what, you got to wonder, like Penn State, we know they have talent. Jahan Dotson, one of the best ones in the country, makes a man miss, hits the gap. I love a good punt return, 81 yards.
I think if you're James Franklin, obviously this wasn't the season that you envisioned at the start of the year, but you said it. You got a lot of speed. You've got some playmakers. Parker Washington, only a freshman at receiver. Jahan Dotson, this guy's making plays. I think the future's still bright for Penn State.
39-24, don't bury the lead. They got the Land Grant Trophy. Woo! Iowa, Wisconsin, Spencer Petras out of the gun. Amir Smith-Marset had an up and down Saturday. That was the up. Iowa leads 14-0. All right, so here's Smith-Marset, 53-yarder.
Just not a smart idea.
You know,
ankle gets hurt, but let me tell you about the Iowa defense. Wisconsin averaged 1.7 yards a carry, 56 yards. Iowa defense terrific. Smith-Marset on the flip.
Not terrific.
So
he over-rotated. I hate when that happens.
We're giving about a 7.
Also,
happens to me all the time.
he's not a gymnast. Now he's in a walking boot. You know what, Smith-Marset, great play, but that's a bonus dollar for you. Let's hand out some dollars now. Joey, you first.
Going Tory Taylor from Iowa. Fumbles the punt, but let's take a look at this. Now, at first look, you think, man, this is an okay play right here, Tory Taylor. Just kick it. And then you find out that's not legal. That's a penalty, and that's $1.
How about, you know what, Indiana, or Arkansas rather, got a ball play.
That's $1.
Devin Warren, that's $1 for me getting the wrong game. Devin Warren got some eye candy. He slips on the motion. Then Dalton Wagner moves. They had a ball play dialed. He slips.
Your quarterback.
And then the quarter. This is Arkansas.
That's $1 everywhere.
My delivery was $1.
$1.
Play was $1.
Quarterback at Northwestern. He's running to his right, trying to get the first down. Gets tackled. Slip and slide on the concrete. Oh. You notice how he just pauses for a second?
Yeah.
It's not because he's hurt. He's soaked. He's soaked.
The concrete stopped that slide quick.
That is $1.
It's also $1 for having concrete so close to the field. Also bonus $1 for Galloway laughing at a college football team at a pregame show. Nothing laughing about this. USC, UCLA. Keaton Slovis tipped, picked off by Stephon Blaylock.
Great concentration on the back end, one-handed interception. I like this defensive idea you're going with.
We've got a theme here. We got tip drills, all kinds of Oskies, DTR.
Oh.
His pass batted, it picked off.
Yeah, it's picked off by Polamalu. And listen, we always joke, we say, well, that's the reason why you play DB. You're always dropping easy picks. And none of these are easy, and these are some pretty great plays.
Is that how we sound?
Who talks like that? Who are you imitating there?
I don't think we sound like that.
Brendan Gant, juggling interception.
Way to stay with it. Looks like Duke's going to make a catch here. Stay with it. 44, playing defensive back. Great play.
I say give Florida State a lot of credit. Mike Norvell and the Seminoles been through a lot. They got the win on Saturday. Number 2, Bryce Thompson. It's an all-Oski Saturday.
Sometimes it's just not enough to get the pick with one hand. Sometimes you got to take it to the crib. Pick 6. By number 0.
Not a Woo Pig Oski.
No.
But volunteers.
He might need to get some touches on offense.
This is the play of the day. The Jay Ward interception on the knees led to an upset. The hand-eye, ball-knee coordination on this, phenomenal.
Had to review it, take a look at it. Got the hands back in bounds, got the knees back in bounds. After they take a look, let's see off the helmet. But we're looking at, that's a football.
I love it. You know what else I love? Snow and football. You have a story about Laramie, Wyoming?
Yeah, I called a game out there, and it was snowing then, too.
And you drove 5 hours.
Is that your story?
That's a great story. You know what?
Gonna fall.
That's all you got?
That's how Rinaldi teaches you at storytelling.
Moving on.
Anticlimactic.
Hey,
anticlimactic.
Greatest individual award in sport coming up. Helmet stickers as we wrap up college football final. Bounce back week for BYU after losing to Coastal Carolina. They get San Diego State 4th and 1. San Diego State 45. Lapini Katoa 43 yards to the 2.
And BYU off to a slow start in this game. San Diego State came out, get the 14 points. Can BYU answer?
And here's Zach Wilson to Isaac Rex.
Trying to bounce back from their loss against Coastal Carolina. I love this freshman tight end. 6'6", 250 pounds. He can also play some wide receiver.
I love a kicker, Jake Oldroyd, who can hit a 50-yarder to give BYU lead at the half. Hey, college kickers showed up a little bit on Saturday, 17-14. Fourth quarter now, Zach Wilson, watch the grab by Isaac Rex.
You talk about being 6'5", used every inch of it. Great catch.
Time now for the best part of the program, helmet stickers. Joey, lead
I'm
us
going
off.
Michael Carter, North Carolina. 308 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, might still be running on Miami right now.
Dylan Stoner from Oklahoma State had 8 catches, 247 yards, 3 TDs, becomes the first receiver for the Pokes to go for 200 yards and 3 TDs in a game since Dez Bryant in 2008.
I'm going to keep it receiver Justin Hall for Ball State, 10 receptions, 175 yards, and 2 touchdowns. More importantly, Ball State going to the MAC championship for the first time since 2008.
I only got 1 helmet, first time in program history. I'm going Javonte Williams, 236 and 3 touchdowns. The duo, Williams and Carter, 544 in a game, which is a record for the most by a duo in major college football history.
Brad Johnson's kid, Max Johnson, only a true freshman, got the start for the Tigers against the Gators. Threw for 239 yards, 3 TDs, was poised. They were 23.5-point dogs. Looks like LSU has found their QB of the future.
I'm going to go back to Friday. Arizona State's beatdown of Arizona 70-7. But the story in that one, Jackson He, becoming the first Chinese-born player to score a touchdown in FBS. To make the story even sweeter, he was a walk-on in 2019. Jackson He also got a game ball, deserves the helmet sticker from Friday in Arizona State, torching the Cats. Anything else you want to say about LSU tonight? Are you good?
See you next week.
Very smart.
That's all I got.
He's learning.
Let's
Championship
go.
Saturday.